Hello and welcome back to Call to Arms, and thank you all for answering the call. I'm your host DJ, and we're at Game 3 of Broken Realms and Minis for War number 4, GT number 4. I'm flying solo yet again. My co-host Kyle has abandoned me once again. So I suppose 1 out of 3 ain't bad. So you're just going to have to make do with me chatting a whole bunch of Sigmar, and please do get involved if you can. Comment and chat on this matchup. We've got a really, really good game for you here, guys. Well, possibly. Possibly could be a good game. I'll be interested to see how one person deals with the other person, shall we say. We've got Mr. Stu West on Nurgle versus JJ Cropley on Soulblight Gravelords. He is running the 140 zombies list. You've heard all about it, I'm sure. And actually, both of these lists were actually featured on our preview show, where we were talking about some of the lists. Both of these lists also featured on that show. So if you haven't checked that show out, please feel free on my YouTube channel. But without further ado, we're going to have a wee chat about the two lists that we are looking at today. The boys are currently just in deployment right now. So we won't really have much action to look at for a wee while, yeah. So we'll talk about some lists, and we'll talk about some other matchups that we're seeing in Game 3 for day number 1. So let's dive in. So in terms of the lists, let's kick things off with Stu's list first of all. So Stu's running Nurgle, Maggotkin of Nurgle. For those of you that don't know, this particular list went 5-0 at a tournament down south very recently. It was piloted by Mr. Phil McGuinness, who's a good friend of the channel, and he went 5-0. So big congrats to Phil for taking out. That's his first 5-0, so taking out a tournament. Very, very well done. Congrats to him. And so Stu has essentially decided to take the exact same list. It's a very, very strong list, and not a lot of people are running Nurgle right now, so it's really nice to see. So I think Stu's getting his reps in for Six Nations, so he'll definitely be wanting to do well with this list this weekend to hopefully get his chops for the Six Nations. He's went for his sub-faction of Droning Guard. That gives his many plague drones, it gives them a pre-game move. So if we go to the exact wording here, so Droning Guard... yep, so basically you... sorry, my apologies, not pre-game move. It is subtract 1 from hit rolls for attacks that target friendly plague drone units in the first battle round and in the battle round in which they were set up as well. So in the first battle round, he'll be -1 to hit. I believe it does also unlock them as battle line, hence why he's able to take it, and he's only really taking those Nurgle flies. Which is very cool to see. So we have 6 plague drones. So he's reinforced them, and then he's got 4 units of 3 plague drones as well. And the real juice behind this list is he can just sit these guys on objectives, and you can use them to kind of block off areas of space and objectives, and they just can't really do anything. The other opponent can't really do anything to either get around them to then score. Very difficult to remove, as there are quite a lot of wins on a 5-up ward. Also have a buttload of attacks coming out the plague drones as well, and can also spread the disease and spread all that sickness, which can then be doing the mortal wounds. So it's a very good list, and also a very oppressive list to basically look at. So very cool. In terms of his leaders, he's got Sloppity. So Sloppity Bilepiper, very nice hero. Because he's actually not a unique hero, he can take an artifact. So he's taking the Arcane Tome to make him a wizard. He also, what he can do is he can do a multitude of things. I think 3 different things. The standouts being he can give a unit mortals on 6 to hit. He can also make an enemy unit not be able to pile in as well, which is huge. So he's a really nice little tech piece. We've also got a lot of afflictions. So this guy, that's the guy, kind of like he's riding on his very own Big B, and he has a command trait Overpowering Stench, which means that you cannot, I believe you can't issue or receive command abilities if you're within 7 inches of him. So I'll just double check that just now. So Overpowering Stench. So that's going to be in the command traits. So enemy units within 7 in the general cannot issue commands, and enemy units wholly within 7 can't even receive commands. So that's pretty nuts. Now this guy is very good. It's also good because, and I'll just find him for you. Yes, Lord of Afflictions. Because he is at 8 wounds on a 3-up save. He has an 8-inch move, or he's on his big thing, and I believe, yes, this is the guy that can give the pre-game move. So it's called the Swarm Descends, special rule that he has in his War Scroll. It says, during deployment, instead of setting up this unit in the battlefield, you can place it to one side, say it's in reserve. If you do so, when you would set up a friendly Plague Drones unit during the deployment, that unit can join this unit, however, in the sky. So basically, you can take 2 things off the board. It says up to 2 Blight Lords or Plague Drones that can any combination in this unit. At the end of your movement phase, you can set this unit up the battlefield, set up. Also, sorry, my apologies, it's not pre-game move, it's essentially like a deep strike. So him and 2 other units can kind of deep strike down. So again, it just gives you that control aspect of the list, because you can keep them up in deep strike. If you take first, you just plonk them down wherever you like, outside of 9 of the enemy, and you really can just cover off like huge swathes of the board, which is really, really cool to see. And then he's also taken a Bloodthirster of Unferted Fury, which is a really interesting tech pick, because he doesn't get any of the Nurgle like benefits, can't benefit from any allegiance abilities, but in of himself he's a really nice kind of debuff. So he casts out an 8-inch -1 to hit aura, which, if you're really trying to get rid of these flies, making things -1 to hit is pretty huge. He also can spike mortal wounds in I think it's the end of the combat phase as well. He rolls a dice for every enemy unit within 8 inches of him. On a 4-up, he can also do D3 mortal wounds to the unit as well. So you're also getting more sprinkling of mortal wounds, as well as the contagion happening as well. The contagion mortal wounds, which is really, really cool as well. And that's pretty much it, other than 3 Nurglings. That's the list. So 1980 points. So I'm just going to check and see if he actually gets his triumph. So Stu's went for the reroll charge. No, he will not get his triumph because JJ's 1970. Also a 2-drop as well. So that's pretty big. Usually it means he has a pretty good chance of dictating who goes first. A lot of the time I think this list wants to go first, just to block off space, block off objectives, and just like basically hope that the opponent just doesn't score anything. So really cool. Nurgle's also got some decent battle tactics they can do as well, and okay Grand Strat. So a nice list. And then we're looking at JJ's list now. Also a 2-drop. He's going for Legion of Night. So this is the one where you can have the once per turn you can essentially countercharge something. So a unit that is within 12 of an enemy unit that made a charge, and as long as they're outside of combat, they can then charge in. And you just don't need to spend a CP for that. You just do it, which is pretty nice. If his grand strat is about Empire of Corpses, this means that he has to bring back 3 summonable units out of the grave, which is cool. Is usually pretty doable. He's got a lot of summonable units that could just die and come back. And he's also went for Triumph Indomitable, so he wants the Battle Shock immunity, which he can obviously put on a big block of zombies, which is nice. And for his leaders, he's got Vampire Lord, he's the General, he's got the command trait of Unbending Will. This is the one where it makes models wholly within 12 of this General count as double for objective control. So 40 zombies on objective count is 80 zombies on objectives. It's just absolutely nuts. He's also got Morbig's Claw, which you can pop every turn. It gives him +2 to cast and an aura, so all your wizards can get +2 to cast, but he can't move, run, charge, any of that stuff. But he can use Legion of Night, Heroic Action, Teleport. So this is where the kind of juice is, because you can pop the Morbig's Claw, or rather you can Heroic Action, teleport this guy, pop Morbig's Claw to get +2 to cast, and then you can cast Blizzard into something, which is pretty nuts, as we have all seen. He's then got Manfred. He's got Spirit Gale. That's the one that does mortal wounds to every unit on the board. If he rolls 10 or more, it does 2 mortal wounds to every enemy unit on the board. Excuse me. And Manfred's really good because he also is a tech piece that can shut down battle tactics, shut down people from scoring, because instead of a redeploy for him, he can just charge, which is really, really nice. And then he's also got a Necromancer with Lower the Death Mages and Waste Away. Necromancer's got a nice War Scroll spell called Van Hel's Dance Macabre. It means that he could get a unit fighting in the hero phase, which is nice, pretty nice on the zombies. Waste Away means that you subtract 1 from the wound rolls and 1 from the damage characteristic of weapons. So obviously not very good against things that are damage 1, but things that are damage 2 or above, this can be pretty devastating. And then in terms of battle line, he's got 10 Direwolves, really cheap, 140 points for 20 wounds that also take up a lot of space. He's also got 20 Deadwalker Zombies, 40 Deadwalker Zombies, 40 Deadwalker Zombies, another 40 Deadwalker Zombies. And so yeah, these things, they dish mortal wounds back to the unit when they die in combat. It's every zombie within 3 inches of the enemy unit when it dies on a 5-up does a mortal wound. We've also got the fact that when they attack, if they kill anything with mortal, if they kill anything, sorry, on a 2-up, they can then get more zombies back into the unit, which can take it above its starting unit value, which is really nice. So you can get more than 40 zombies in a unit. And he's also in there got a little corpse cart. And that corpse cart then allows them, in an aura, means that 6s to wound for those zombies go to mortal wounds in addition. So the zombies are only hit on 5s. They wound on 4s, however. So really, you want to try and get them hitting as many times as possible, and then really try and spike those 6s in the wound rolls. The Vampire Lord also comes in nicely here because at the start of the combat phase, they can pick a unit and give them an additional attack as well. So the zombies can get up to 3 attacks each. So in a block of 40, 120 attacks if they all are able to swing, which is huge. In terms of the other units, as we've said, we've got the Corpse Cart, which juices up the zombies. We've then got 3 Virkos Bloodborne. These are a really nice tech pick as well because they have a pre-game move, which can then allow you to score some easy turn 1 battle tactics, deny space for your opponent. They can get onto an objective that they weren't on before, which can sometimes also screw with the opponent's battle tactics. And we also have 4 Murmurn Banshees in there, which are really just a kind of as a tech pick against magic, because they provide a bit of magic protection as well. He's then finished things off with a Suffocating Gravetide, possibly for perhaps the Zombie Mirror, because there are other zombie lists out there, and the Gravetide can do work. Obviously, roll a dice for every mod in the unit, every 5 up is a mortal wound. So he's 1970 points, so he will be getting his Triumph. He's also 2 drops. So it means that there's a roll-off, and I've been reliably informed that JJ has won the roll-off, so he does get to choose who goes first. This is actually really, really clutch, because it means that JJ can go first and just force the issue, put all of those zombies on objectives, deny space, clog up the board, and then really it's up to Stu to try and chew through them. Stu does have a lot of attacks coming out the Plague Drones, but it's can he do enough to clear the zombies, which then also just come back. So like Grave Lords, when a summonable unit dies on a 4-up in your opponent's movement phase, or on a 3-up in your own movement phase, you can bring that unit back wholly within 12 inches of a grave site. So really, really, yeah, it's just a lot. You have to chew through all those wounds, and then you have to do it all over again, potentially, as well. Really good list, obviously doing super, super well. JJ's coming off of a 4-1 at Tempest. And he could go all the way, to be honest, with this list. It's a very, very strong list. So those are the lists. We've also got, so the boys are still sitting up, so we'll just kind of catch up with chat. So we've got Martin J in chat. Hi Martin. He says, great stream, buddy. Any plans to do more on the Scottish scene, or does he want to prioritise playing? Very good question. Kind of wanted just to see how it goes this weekend. If it went well and there weren't too many snags, I could definitely see myself doing this more often. But then I also do not want to take away from the actual playing aspect of the game, because I really, really enjoy playing, go to as many tournaments as I can. So yeah, it's kind of a... my answer will be it depends. It depends, really. But I have genuinely really enjoyed doing this weekend. It's been really, really good to just kind of actually take a bit of a back seat, see how people are getting on. Commentating has been really, really fun as well. I've seen some really good moments so far. I've been genuinely really enjoying it. So thanks so much for your question. And yeah, if anyone else has got any other questions, I see we've got about 7 people watching. So please get involved. Let me know what you think. Let me know who you think is going to win this match. Do you think it's going to be JJ with the zombies? Do you think it's going to be Stu with his bees? While these guys are still setting up, I think what I'll probably do is we'll have a chat about some other matchups that are happening as part of the day 1 game 3 draw. So let's talk about this just now. So we also have got so in terms of some spicy matchups, we've got Nathan Watson versus Raffle Colban. So Nathan just won his game against Rich, so he just quite handily dealt with Seraphon. Can he do it again? Because we have Raffle Colban running a different Seraphon list, not a very passive Seraphon list with Magic and Kronspine. Well, I suppose Kronspine isn't very passive, but the rest of the army kind of is. But Raffle is running a very aggressive, and he loves to alpha. He loves to take first and just absolutely charge those Agrodons down down your throat, and then also backed up with the Croak Mortal Wound Bomb as well. So very cool matchup. Be very interested to see how this goes, and if Raph does have enough damage to take out the 30 Blood Warriors and co. So very interesting. But then also have Andy Pennington also performing well. He's 2-0 after his first 2 games, and he's playing against Keith Brown. So I'll just check what Keith is running. Keith is running null myriad. probably the list that Andy wants to try and avoid. Null myriad, obviously, so good for Bone Reapers to shut down magic, and Andy is just running a pure magic. Probably not pure magic. Kronspine plus magic. So very interesting here. We'll see how much work the Kronspine can get done. And how much magic that Keith can also ignore as well. So very interesting, spicy matchup there. Then obviously we've got JJ versus Stu, which we are going to be watching any second now. We've got David Bishop Miller, my brother-in-law, and he is playing against Mr. John Bayliss, who's on his Seraphon. John's on a good run as well, 2-0. Both these guys won their first 2 games pretty easily. So really looking forward to seeing how the big Wah damage plus battle tactic and grand strat just getting will do against John. Obviously John's a very good player, so hopefully should be a spicy one, and I'm looking forward to Matt giving me some updates on this. We then also have... Thank you very much, Stu, just giving me a wee update there. So we've got Tom Udale versus Lee Martin. Lee's also on a great run, 2-0 right now. He's going into Tom's Skaven. So let's see what we've got here. We've got Arch Warlock, Claw Lord, Vermin King, Lord Screech. We've got Grey Seer, Vermilor Warbringer, which can do some pretty good damage. 20 clan, so we've got 420s of clan rats and 2 warp lightning cannons. So it all really depends if Slanesh kind of made a paper. If Tom's able to kind of shoot first, then Lee could potentially be in for a bit of trouble. And yeah, so I think those are our kind of our top 5 tables. And we'll kind of pick back up with some of them later, I think, and we'll also look at some updates when they arrive as well. So I think without further ado, I think it's time to check in on our boys. I think we're going to be looking at JJ and Stu now. So there are their armies set up now. I'm being told by Stu that he is starting. Starting on the number 2 on the wheel, which is good because it means I need to do some homework and I need to look up what that actually is. So the Wheel of Contagion. Cycle of Corruption, sorry, my apologies. Number 2, that gives us Fecund Vigour. All units are treated as being within 14 inches of a locus of fecundity, which is great because then it means I also need to look up what that actually means. So locus of fecundity, it means that the disgustingly resilient battle trait heals D3 wounds allocated to model instead of 1 if that's model unit. So basically it means that Stu's got better healing for this round. Don't know if that's going to have much impact or if he's really going to be getting damaged much in battle round 1. But we shall certainly see. Okay. In terms of the rest of the wheel, so if we look back here, let's see what this is then setting Stu up for. It means that he's also setting up for the burgeoning for Battle Round 2. It means that he can get some additional CP, which is nice. For Battle Round 3, it means that JJ's heroes won't be able to use Inspiring Presence or Rally Heroic. He can't carry out heroic actions either. Oh, so that means Battle Round 3, there's no Legion of Night teleport. It means that there's no rally and there's no Inspiring Presence as well. So JJ might want to save his Battleshock Immunity Triumph until the end there, which is pretty cool. Battle Round 4, it means he's getting eyed up for Nauseous Revulsion. You subtract 1 from charge rolls for enemy units that don't have Nurgle, and they cannot finish a pile move closer to a Nurgle unit than they were at the start of a move. So that's very interesting. And then it means that the last one, the very last round, we're adding 1 to the disease rolls. So we'll see how much of an impact that makes. But yeah, not bad. I'm really eyeing up that turn 3, to be honest, because no ability to do command. No ability to do heroic actions, things like that could be pretty clutch. Right, so the boys have started. JJ is looking as if he's got very sparse on the table right now. We can see that we've got some Direwolves set up here. I can see that we've got, looks like Manfred plus Corpse Cart back here. I've got some Banshees right there as well. And I can also see I've got some Fellbats down here and we've also got a necromancer down here as well. So very interesting. He's not deployed the zombies, so I do wonder if maybe he was worried about the potential alpha, or if he's going to take first and he's just going to get all the zombies on. Ah, okay, so we've been reliably told. So JJ's informed me that he's gone, so he is taking first. He has gone for Surround and Destroy his battle tactic. He teleported the Vampire Lord forward, but only managed to do 7 mortal wounds on a Blizzard, which Stu actually saved 3 of. So he's only done 4 mortal wounds. So yeah, not a very good Blizzard off the start, but at least it's kind of drawn first blood so far. Okay, so let's start scoring this up, and we'll have a wee look. So we'll have another wee check in with the lads. So Rich. So JJ's gone first. I've actually already predicted this, as you can see, because I've said Soulblight getting 2 and Nurgle getting 3 CP, and JJ has gone for Surround and Destroy. So, Stu is rolling a lot of dice, and I believe that this is Spirit Gale that's been casted by Manfred. So Manfred has indeed cast Spirit Gale. He managed to get the 10 plus on the cast, and he's trying to do 2 mortal wounds to every single unit in Stu's army, and Stu is rolling the ward save. So a smattering of mortal wounds there to those bees, and to the Bloodthirster and to his heroes as well. So magic phase, kind of a mixed bag here for JJ. Sorry, hero phase, bit of a mixed bag here for JJ. He's managed to get, so he's got Blizzard off. He's not really done much with Blizzards, and he's also got Spirit Gale off as well, which against this kind of an army, not that big a deal because Stu's just going to heal it all back, unfortunately. So I did say, don't know if all the flies are going to take much damage. It seems they are taking some damage, but I think they'll all just heal that back. So yeah. I'll just catch up with chat. Stuart Harrop says zombies for the win. I think with that roll off being so pivotal of who can take first, I think that is definitely heavily favoured to JJ at this moment in time. Stu has got a heck of a job now trying to chew through those zombies to actually be able to score primary and battle tactics. Then got Craig saying, think that first roll off is the most important dice they will roll in this game. The 2 lists play the same way and board presence is key. Absolutely, 100%. Could have said about it myself. So yeah, I think that was huge. Apparently, when I went over to ask who won the roll-off, JJ didn't even realise, it hadn't even kind of contemplated just how pivotal it was. He just rolled it nonchalantly, won the roll-off, and yeah, Stu was gutted with that. So, yep, Phil is saying, no, the bees, not the bees. Yes, Phil, the bees. They're taking lots of damage, but they will heal back, and I'm sure the best way to deal with zombies is with a rapid inclusion of bees. Okay, so JJ's got the 9-inch sticks out. Looks like he's looking at where to bring the zombies out of the graves. So I'm just gonna try my best to highlight where he's got the grave sites. So he's got one. Oops, a bit far away. He's got one. Looks like he's got one grave site here. Looks like he's got. Oops, another one right there. I reckon this could potentially be a grave site. Oops, sorry, this could potentially be a grave site here. That could also be something attached to his necromancer. But I'll certainly double check with JJ just to clarify where his grave sites are. That's going to be pivotal here as well, because if Stu does manage to clear any of this stuff, then it's just going to come right back. well, hopefully, depending on dice rolls, it could just come right back. So he needs to be very careful of kind of zoning out some of these objectives and things like that as well. So I'm just getting a wee update from Stu here.
So I had to deploy on the table because I was scared.
So Stu just having, I like that, Phil. Stu has to remember that to heal it. I'm sure he will. I'm sure he's on point. But yeah, so just getting a wee update there from Stu. The reason why, so he's kind of given his reasons as to why he started everything on the board. With his sub-faction, he did have the option that he could, sorry, not with sub-faction, with his general, he did have the option of starting up to 2 units off the board. But what he was worried about is if he were to do that, then Stu could just, sorry, not Stu, JJ, sorry, could then just possibly screen out the entire table with zombies. With him running first, so I think it's a good move from Stu here because yeah, that's 100% what could have happened. So not bad, but again, this is why he's kind of pinned himself in. He was worried that he could just get completely screened out of the entire board. So here we go. Here's the first block of zombies getting brought on. They're being bodyguarded by that little 3-unit Fellbats just at the front there. Fellbats just such a nice include for this list. With the counter charge ability and the fact that they fly and have smaller bases, they can just get into little nooks and crannies and tie folk up, which is great. And yeah, 40 block of zombies on there. Ouch. Looks like we've also got some direwolves just in the middle here again. This is a screen. They're also backed up by the corpse cart here. And we also have the another block of 40 zombies coming on here as well with the corpse cart. Hopefully JJ remembers to keep that wholly within 12 of the corpse cart just so we can proc some mortal wounds in combat potentially. Nice little include as well up here. He's got the Virkos Bloodborne. They have already done their pre-game move and they've moved normally as well. Just to take up space and to block off board. I believe they are kind of in the gap between between a garrison. So obviously that being impassable means they can be used as a wee bit of a blocker. And it looks like JJ's also bringing on another 40 block of zombies on that objective there. It's just a heinous amount of zombies. It's, as my grandpappy would say, horrendous. So I guess the only thing I just need to clear up is what units JJ has used for his surround and destroy. I believe, if I'm not mistaken, it's going to be these Banshees here, these Bloodborne up here, and then he just needs to make sure that he's got something wholly within 6 inches, which I think he is getting quite easily with this Necromancer here. So I think that is the surround and destroy. We just need to check and make sure that he has picked the right units, because we've seen it already on stream. Somebody picked surround and destroy and they picked the one of the wrong units. So we do not want to see a fatty dropped batty anytime soon from JJ. Yes, Phil, the wheel started on the number 2, so the Fecund Vigor. So it means that he'll heal D3 on all the flies, which is nice. We've got Mr. Thomas Backhouse. Hello, Thomas. How are we doing? Good to have you on. Thanks for joining us. And I really do need to give props to certain individuals in the Scottish community, because you guys have been absolute legends. Managing to tune into the live streams pretty much all day today, so thank you so much for your help. Yeah, it's good. I would agree, good start. We actually chatted through, I don't know if you caught, Phil, we chatted through where that could then set him up. So I think good start for the healing, and then turn 3, I'm really interested to see how spicy it is to basically shut down the Legion of Night teleport for his battle round 3. And also no inspiring presence as well, so that'll be pretty spicy. Okay, well, it looks as if JJ has well and truly taken control over pretty much nearly almost 3/4 of the board there. He's got a really good setup of zombies here and direwolves, and then again he's also got the fell bats and zombies there. So this entire kind of section of the board, he's really pinning Stu in. So Stu's going to have to find a way to break out of this to get an objective, start scoring primary, because that's going to be a bit of an issue for him. Let's go over the mission special rules as well. So this one is called no step backwards, I believe. Oh, sorry, every step is forward. So let's find this in the old GHB. Yep, every step is forwards. And so for this one, given no ground, if a unit makes a charge move until the end of that turn, you add 1 to the number of models that could count as contesting. Okay, and then if a unit retreats, it cannot contest. Cannot contest objectives at all. So we don't want to be retreating at any point in time. And if we charge, we count as 1 model extra as well, which is pretty nice here. We've got a very kind of a weird sort of L-shaped, Tetris-shaped kind of objective. And JJ's just telling me that he has just scored his 5. So he has control over all the objectives. He's got a really nice screen, and he's also got a surround and destroy. So really nice turn 1 from JJ there. So that ticks him up to 5 VP. Don't believe he used a CP at all, so we'll tick him up to 3. We'll also tick Stu up to 4 CP, because I don't think that he has spent any at all either. And we'll make sure that we mark that he did get his surround and destroy. I'm also just hearing in that Stu has remembered to do his healing, so he will be healing D3 back to every single unit there. What I might do is I might actually just double check with JJ right now where exactly his grave sites are. Right, perfect. So I've just clarified where JJ's grave sites are. I was right with 3 of them. There is one that we can't quite see just because there's some zombies sitting on it just now. So we've got a grave site. That's one there. This one that was next to the Necromancer. Oops, there we go. Actually, that's it there. We've also got a grave site over here. And then we also have a grave site, I believe. Yep, I was just reliably told it is kind of round about here. This block of zombies right there. Okay, so good to know. Stu has gone for, I believe the battle tactic was Nurture Fecundity, which I will just double check. Thomas, is Stu West playing Nurgle? So a wee bit of a change up for Stu. He was romping it at Tempest 4-1 with Stormcast, which is amazing. You love to see it. And he's decided to take the Busted Bees list. So battle tactics. Nurture the Gnarlmaw. Pick a Feculent Narmal in your army that is within 12 inches of any enemy units, and you complete this tactic if that Feculent Narmal is more than 12 inches from all enemy units at the end of this turn. Now it's quite spicy here because what's happened is Stu's picked the Vampire Lord, the one that teleported in and blizzarded, and then JJ has just teleported out. So he's just automatically got his battle tactic, which is really, really good. Now, obviously, JJ could have left his general in there to deny a battle tactic, to try and deny a battle tactic. But then I'm pretty sure Stu would have just turned round and killed him with his units. So nice little play there. So both players have got automatic, essentially, battle tactics. It's just whether or not, it's just looking at how many objectives can Stu get. I don't see him getting more. I could see him getting 1. It's whether he could get 2, I think, is the issue. So what I'll do is I'll score this up. perfect. So nurture the Narmor, and it is a resounding success for Stu there. So he knows he's getting his battle tactic. As I say, it's just a primary kind of issue right now. But on the double, it's how much can we actually clear. So in Stu's face, we've got 20 zombies, we've got 3 Verkos Bloodborne, we've got 10 direwolves, and we've got those 3 fellbats and the zombies there. So it's how much can we clear this turn to potentially try and open up the game. As I've said, there is a good number of attacks out of those plague drones, and the zombies have no save. It's just they're just going to be hopefully kind of looking to roll their wards. So it's kind of how many sixes. So it's how many attacks and wounds and damage can Stu get through, and how many ward saves can JJ roll. So yeah, very cool. Yeah, it looks like the zombies weren't within 12, and I don't even think the battle tactic means that you have to have every unit. It's just pick a unit. So yeah, pick. Oh no, sorry, it is. It's all enemy units have to be more than 12 away. So it looks like those zombies are out of there, which is nice. So I'm trying to think if there's a way that JJ could potentially try and stop Stu from getting this, because there is a world in which pylons could potentially wreck this battle tactic for Stu. So interesting. I've already given him it. But I also don't want to count my chickens just yet, because I know JJ's a canny player. I think that he is definitely thinking of ways that he could actually screw with this battle tactic. Yeah, Tom, it's very different. He's basically looking to take this to Six Nations. So he's getting his reps in this weekend. It's a very strong list, so we think that this is what he wants. I don't think he wants to take this list to Six Nations, as he's already said. I think he was saying that he really doesn't want to try and take 18 flies and luggage aboard a plane. I think he just needs to say goodbye to all the little wings, all the little proboscises, all the little claws, because they'll be a nightmare to get onto a case. Okay, but as you can see, the flies are moving up. Here come the flies. So that looks like the big block of 6 there. I suppose it could be 2 threes. Obviously, coherency rules don't really matter anymore in terms of units of 6. So we'll have a check with Stu on where the big block is. Yeah, that's perfect. So that is the 6 drones. That is the 6 bees over here. So that's the block of 6. Everything else is 3s. So I think he's maybe hopefully trying to just romp them into those zombies and fellbats and just try and lift them. So he's got 3 bees, 2 threes of bees heading on. Looks like they're heading, eyeing up the dire wolves. Where does the bloodthirster go? Stu does need to be careful as well, though, that he stays outside of 9 of Manfred, because a Manfred redeploy charge, shall we say, could be pretty devastating here to try and get rid of some of these zombies. So it looks like he is. I can see Manfred. I can see Manfred here, and I can also see that he's got a 9-inch range ruler in front of him. So I think, yeah, Stu is very mindful of that, and he wants to try and keep Manfred at arm's length. He's just working out where he wants to put this bloodthirster. Obviously, this is quite a good debuff piece. -1 to hit, bubble. Oh, he's moving up his general, so there he goes. Looks like he's still got some damage left on him, left over from Spirit Gale. And there goes the Bloodthirster as well. He also has damage on him because he cannot heal. So he's moving up. Going within 8 of that unit and staying 9 away from the zombies. Didn't want to give the zombies a redeploy there. So a nice move, Stu. Yeah, Thomas. So the Bloodthirster really, it's just it's a big debuff piece. So it's got an 8-inch aura of -1 to hit for all enemy units. It's also a monster, so it gives you a roar, or gives you a stomp, or what have you, and it also will spikes. It could splash some mortal wounds in an aura as well. So a nice little include. And Phil does really like running him, and he has. I think he's quite in quite a lot of these techie bees lists as well. Oh, Thomas turned to 40k. Oh no, Thomas, no. Let's get you back into the light now. Luckily, we've got you tuned in to some really good content here, so hopefully this will bring you back over. I think 40k is in a hell of a state right now. They're trying to balance it, but Age of Sigmar is better than ever, mate. So I would highly recommend you come back. So he's actually not a Boomthirster. This is a Bloodthirster of Unfettered Fury, not Insensate Rage. So he doesn't do as much damage. He's not as hitty as the Boomthirster, but as I say, he's more of a debuff piece. And Khorne is an auto-include because he also gives a 3d6 charge for Khorne units as well. So, but you are seeing him in these Nurgle lists. Okay, so looks like we're rolling some Rotting Heads. So the flies have got shooting attacks and they've got combat as well. So it's a lot of dice. In fact, I'm going to get the War Scroll up just to illustrate just how many attacks are going to come out of these guys. So Plague Drones. So for every 3 Plague Drones, we've got the Death's Head attacks. So the attacks characteristic of a Death's Head is equal to the number of models in the target unit to a maximum of 7. So because we're looking at some pretty big units here of zombies, so they're going to be chucking out 21 shots with the Death's Heads, 3s, no Ren 1 damage. So perfect for trying to chew through zombies. And then each fly also has 8 attacks, 2 from the Plague Sword, 6 from the claws, mouth parts and sting. They're all 3s and 3s. No Ren 1 damage. Again, perfect for zombies as well. They don't need rend. They just need weight of dice. We've also got we've got an extra attack coming out of there as well. So you've got 8 per flying combat, plus 1 for the champ. So that's 25 attacks plus 21. So you're talking 46 attacks in total coming out of those flies per 3. And obviously that big block of flies is going to be 26 times 2 minus 1. So what's that? 51 attacks coming out of a pack of 3. So very, very nasty indeed, and great for chewing through these zombies. So I really expect them to do work. Plus 6 to hit, puts disease onto the unit, so could also do some mortals at the end in the battle shock phase to help try and wipe a unit. So even though Stu's in a really bad position here, if he could get a double here, I reckon he could chew through a lot of zombies. Okay, and as you can see, look at that, 8 direwolves gone already. So that's 8. So 16 wounds at the direwolves, so possibly 17 because I can see there's a dice next to one. So 17 wounds caused into the direwolves. JJ is seeing just how nasty the shooting is from these guys. It's a very short range, only 7 inches, but it can get the work done. Okay. Looks as if we're in double digits, well, possibly double digits already of damage into those zombies. With 4 wards, obviously. So we'll see how many that JJ can spike. Rolled a few 6s there. So it looks like 4 dead in the first batch. Sorry, Dead Worker Zombies, they do have a 6-up save, so really for JJ it's just 6s and 6s. He needs to just keep rolling 6s and 6s. So let's see how many call to arms horns that he can roll. So while JJ is just picking up swathes of dice and chucking them into the dice tray, it's been a terrific day today at the Campanile. We've thoroughly enjoyed my time here, and I hope everyone else has as well. The weather's been great. The aircon is working amazingly because I'm sitting here in shorts. I was worried it was going to be too warm in here because we're having an Indian summer. But I can tell you right now that I am pretty cold, so I might need to go and put a jumper on. So that just tells you how well the aircon's working, and it's able to overpower all these sweaty tryhards in here. So I'll just have a double check with JJ how many models he's lost. It looks to be about maybe 10ish zombies that he's lost in the shooting. He's also got shooting from the Bloodthirster to come as well, but I think Stu's just kind of methodically working through all of his death's heads just now. Okay. Been told by Stu that the dice are bent apparently, so rolling lots of sixes. If you'd like to purchase any call to arms dice, please just send me an email. It's in the description below, and it's £1 per dice. Or if you sign up to my Patreon, you get 10% discount off that as well. So please, if you'd like some very nice dice that apparently just roll sixes, and then let me know. New Cities Tom is not out yet. Thomas officially, in terms of match play legal, but it will be very shortly. And we've already started to see lots and lots of broken lists. Well, I say lots. There's two probably. It's either Fusiliers for days or it's Blackguard for days. So it looks as if they are probably the two of the most powerful lists that are coming out just now. Here comes the Bloodthirster, Whippy Man, as Stu refers to him. He's putting them into possibly the bats? Or maybe just wants to try and kill some more zombies. Yeah, so this is going into the bats. He just wants to get rid of the bats here. Just to really open up that frontage into the zombies. Bats are still 3 wins apiece though, so don't know how well the Bloodthirster's going to do here. He does do D3 damage each. Looks like he's only killed one bat. That's unfortunate. JJ is also, I mean, God bless anyone who tries to play against these flies. Anytime he puts your hand near them, you clip a wing and don't knock them over. So, very annoying models to try and use. Be interesting to see how Phil actually got on in the tournament. Was there any hilarious things where somebody essentially yeeted one of your flies across the table because they accidentally clipped its wing? Oh, and also, how's the orcs getting on? Painting of the orcs. I'd love to see some pics. So we've rolled up a charge, looks like. Looks like that Bloodthirster is going places. He is going straight in there and to the corner. It does put him in blizzard range, but I guess with the ability, Legionite ability to teleport anywhere on the board, I feel like everyone is in blizzard range. Okay, so Bloodthirster's in. Let's see what else is going to be going in as well. So interestingly here, did Stu... Oh no, did Stu forget to clip the bats? The bats, Stu. Oh my goodness, it looks as if these bats are using the Legion of Night counter charge, and yes, there we have it. So these guys are only killing bats this turn. Oh, that's a huge, huge slip up, I think. You really need to tag those bats at least within 3 inches to stop that counter charge. So you could have got as many flies as possible into the zombies. Oh. Okay, sorry about guys, we are back now. So yeah, catching up with some chat. So Phil's saying he had to charge the flies first, I think, too, for sure, 100%. And even without that, as the bats were blocking too much frontage. So I think what he could have also done is Bloodthirster could have went in, clipped the bats, then he could charge the flies, and the Bloodthirster could have went first, killed the bats, and then allowed the flies to pile in, and then get a much better frontage on the zombies. So I don't know. I just think big misplay from Stu there. And yeah, I think he will be kicking himself here. He says maybe should have focused shooting on the bats too. Yeah, for sure. Like, so what's that? 9 shots, 3s and 3s. The bats have got 6 up as well. He could have killed enough bats to just remove that screen. But I think he just played straight into the tactic of Legion of Night there. JJ was sitting with bats up front, ready to countercharge, and just did it. So I think, yeah, just not a good play there, unfortunately, from Stu. And I think that he's staring down the barrel of probably just getting a 3-point turn. Okay, so looks like all other charges have been made. So looks like the 2 3s and the Direwolves has gone off. And the other 2 3s into the zombies and the Bloodborne have also gone off as well. So in terms of charges, right, all these charges have went off. One slip up, I think, with the Bloodthirster charge there, triggering the counter charge. But yeah, I was actually thinking to myself, why are the bats up front? Because somebody will just either kill them with shooting, or they'll just charge in and they'll tag them anyway within 3, so they'll never get to counter charge. I was actually questioning in my head whether JJ should have put the bats maybe behind the zombies so they could charge over the top. But I think Stu's just played right into his hands there. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. Stu definitely needs a double now to stay in the game. He's going to be 2 points down into turn 2. Okay, so he's going into zombies just now. Sorry, he's roared the zombies, which he's failed, and as he says, I should have stomped. Yeah. Don't know really what Roar does get here. I don't see JJ spending an all-out defence over there with that 40 brick of zombies. I'm sure the Bloodthirsters ran 2. Wouldn't have made a difference at all. So I think a stomp would have been the correct choice there as well. Yeah, agreed, Phil. I think double needs to happen to make this a game. Otherwise, JJ's just going to take over. So we've failed a roar on the zombies from the Bloodthirster, and I'd be interested to see if Manfred's within 3. Doesn't look like he's within 3 of those 3 flies that charge the dogs. And his general is kind of sitting pretty alone there. But we shall see. So where do we go first? What do we think? Stu needs to be careful here as well, because if JJ is in any way able to get a model within 12 inches of that normal, his tactic is gone. So we need to be very careful of pile-in shenanigans, anything like that. So, we've had a failed roar on the zombies, the 40 block of zombies. The Bloodthirster failed the roar. Stu immediately said right after, I probably should have just stomped instead, because the roar doesn't really get him much. He doesn't need to prevent an all-out defense there, because I think the Bloodthirster's already round 2, so it won't matter at all. And I don't, even if it maybe would give him 60 to save, I don't see JJ spending a CP over there. So yeah, I think a stomp would have been the correct option. On the bright side, he's managed to make all of his charges, so everything's in that needs to be. He just needs to do the damage here, and he just needs to be careful of JJ potentially doing any sort of pile-in shenanigans with... I mean, look, I could be talking absolute rubbish, but I feel like this block of zombies here could be in a prime position to try and mess with the battle tactic of the Narmal. So that's your Narmal there. Now, from here to here, from there to there, it could be way over 12 inches, which is fine. But even if it's even slightly close, Stu just needs to be very careful with sequencing things like that here, just in case JJ can potentially try and mess with his battle tactic. I think it's pretty safe, but I never like to count a good player out. So there's Stu, just removing the Bloodborne there. So 3 Virkos Bloodborne gone. They're out of here. Right. So now JJ needs to look at where he's going to activate next. Feels like the 40 block's the right idea. See if he can get any damage into this Bloodthirst. It's only a 4-up save base. Yep, looks like we're going to be piling in over there. So let's see. Let's see what we can do in this Bloodthirster. Bloodthirster has taken a bit of damage from Spirit Gale. See if we can maybe bracket it a bit more. I feel like going with the dogs is meh. Dogs are dead. There's 3 wounds in there. Obviously going with the bats is meh. They're dead. Possibly what's left of the 20 block of zombies at the top of the screen, maybe. Could have maybe got some inches with pile-in, but again, I'd have to actually go and kind of see for sure, because I could be talking absolute mince with JJ's ability to screw the battle tactic, because it could be way more than 12 inches away. Okay, so that's the zombies piled in. See how much damage they can do over here. So they're looking for 6s to hit, because the Bloodthirster's natively -1 to hit in that 8-inch aura. So we're looking for 6s and 4s. No mortals. Steers, remember the -1. Perfect. 1 save, no rent. Okay. Absolute hee-haw. There we go. Okay, next, what do we think? Okay, looks like he's going with the 3 block into the 2 dogs. Possibly could open up some space there for those 3 flies to pile into the 40 block of zombies just beyond them. Don't know if that gets range. I don't know if that's anywhere close to being within 3. It looks pretty close from here. Might be able to get a fly in. But again, at least tagging the zombies. They only move 4, so a retreat from them. Plus also, if they want to retreat, they're going to lose control of an objective. And they can't contest an objective if you retreat. So, certainly gives them options. It's giving JJ decisions, which is what you want to do. You want to try and give as many decisions to your opponent, hopefully overwhelm them with decisions. Okay, so dogs are gone. Very foregone conclusion. JJ's piling in with the 20 block of zombies at the top of the screen now. Is there any way? Don't think so. They would also have to survive the 3 flies as well. But we can hope, we can dream. Thomas is saying, I'm a fickle beast, you've got me hooked into AOS again. Be right back, I'm off to sell my Sisters of Battle. I think that's the right call, mate. I think it's the right call because, I mean, honestly, would you rather go to a 40k tournament or would you rather come up here to an AOS tournament? It's a great community, great bunch of folks and players, and you know, it's just such a nice atmosphere. I've been thoroughly enjoying my time up here, even not being able to play, just sitting and chatting with folks, and yeah, just seeing everybody up here having a great time. It is actually, it's pretty good. So I think you should come on board. Come back, Thomas. Come back. Okay, so Stu's rolling here. Okay, so he's taking a couple of wounds on some flies here from the zombies. Not too shabby. JJ's asking, what's the range of Stu's proboscis? That's a very very sensitive question to ask, actually. Should never ask someone the length of their proboscis. Yeah, so I think Stu is indeed. He's gonna go for the piling over here with these 3 flies. He's gonna see. He's just gonna go in and basically tag here. I think is what he's wanting to do. Yeah, good idea. They're not doing anything else. The other option I'd maybe see if those 3 flies it's about to pile in, if they killed the dogs, the other 3 could go into Manfred. But I don't really see them doing any real damage to Manfred at all. At least possibly could tie Manfred up, stop any of his shenanigans. He can't Legion of Night teleport out of there. He's also not there for a redeploy counter charge as well. So maybe could have been a possible move from Stu. Going to Manfred instead of going to the zombies. We'll see how impactful that's going to be next turn. Okay, 2 bats are gone. We're just picking them up. There's no point rolling that because by Lord, the number of attacks on those flies. Okay, so looks like we might be rolling attacks, or we're also rolling. Yep, so we got 6s and 6s. Looks like he's killed another 3 zombies, or 12 in total is what I'm hearing. Sorry. And you need to make sure that it's only the zombies within 3 inches of the enemy unit is actually going to be doing the exploding on 5s. Oh, okay, so we've had some zombie explosions. Stu's rolled a ward. He's taken another damage, okay. Just kind of going through the motions just now. I think pretty much what we expected to happen happened. We cleared the Bloodborne, we cleared the 20 zombies, we cleared the direwolves, and unfortunately, the only kind of fly in the ointment for Stu has been that counter charge from those bats, which is huge. I don't think I'm making that mistake ever again. We've still got the Bloodthirster to actually swing, and honestly, I don't know if Stu wants to do it that well here, because those zombies exploding on 5s could do a lot of mortal wounds in that Thirster, but I guess he wants to try and clear the zombies. So yeah, I think he's going to have to go for it. Okay, looks like he's going with the Bloodthirster next, I think. Bloodthirster? There we go. So I'm just being reliably informed by JJ that the Banshees were charged by the Nurglings. They did 8 damage to those Nurglings, but Stu only took 2 because of how well he rolled for the 5-ups. Fantastic. So you hadn't even noticed those little Nurglings up in that top right-hand corner making the charge there. So good for them. And they're now swinging into the Banshees as well. Looks like we've dropped 3 Banshees. Oh, get in, lads. Not really impactful here for JJ. There's no magic that he needs to be using the Banshees for, so once they got their surround and destroy, they can just die, doesn't really matter. But yeah, being able to use them as a screen or like take up space is also pretty clutch as well. But there you go, there's the Banshees gone. Okay, so we've got some wild Nurglings in the backfield, ready to do some work. Here we go. So, Bloodthirster going in, 3s and 2s. Because he's hit 6 times out of 8 attacks, 2s. So here's JJ rolling for his wards. Looks like he's made a couple. And he's rolling for the explosions. 5 mortals back from that. Wow. Okay, that's above average. Their zombies aren't going anywhere. Just not enough. If those flies got in 100%, that zombie block would be gone. Stu also very deftly dodging around the top-down camera stand as well, which I'm very thankful for. I believe the kickometer is 5 kicks of the camera this weekend so far. I'm hoping to keep that down to a minimum. Okay, so those 3 flies are now piled in. They're now tagging the zombies. Nobody in range to attack, however. So, really just looking for those zombies to pile in, I believe. So we're trying to spike some mortal wounds here in the combat phase for those zombies. Looks like we've killed 3. Not bad. Wow, so it's an hour and a half left out of the 2:45 game. So that's taken an hour and 15 minutes just to get one battle round done. Very time-sensitive armies, these. Okay, so that's us. Yeah, Stu walks away. with 1 objective and battle tactic for 3 points. JJ was spending inspiring presence on the zombie block there, I believe. Unless he wants to try and keep those flies up the top of the screen tagged, actually. It looks like there's still a zombie alive. Still a zombie alive up there. Okay, wow. So, yep, it's 5-3 to Stu. Roll for the prio here. Okay, looks like Stu wins prio. Now, it's an interesting one here. It's an interesting one because the zombie, there is one lone. Oh wait, Stu's just remembered his faction abilities. Disease points. Finally, right. Thought we were going. So okay. So it looks as if the issue has been solved. We were actually worried that there was one single zombie left alive right up here, which was tagging 2 units of flies. So if Stu did win the prio there, it was pretty rough. As it stands, however, Stu's remembered disease. So he's rolled, that zombie's gone, and then JJ has also lost 1 more zombie, I believe, down the bottom there. So JJ just used a point for inspiring presence there, and now Stu has won the double. So it's what Stu needed. He needed this to stay in the game. That countercharge ability was pretty devastating there to not get those 6 flies in. But right now we're in a much better position. Stu has got the double, and I reckon this could be pretty devastating for JJ. I feel like these flies here should be able to romp down and finish off these zombies. These 2 packs of flies here and here should be able to romp down and wipe these zombies, and then these 2-3s of flies up here should be able to move and wipe these zombies here. Now obviously you're only always either a redeploy away from scuppering any of those plans. However, looks like Stu's in a pretty good position here by winning that double, and I think he could do a lot of hurt to this Soulblight Gravelord's army. So let's score this up, and we'll get rid of all those lines. So in terms of scoring, Stu gets 3 victory points. So it becomes 5-3. He has taken turns, so he goes up to 2 CP, and he also is leaving the Soulblight Gravelord's player with 3 CP. So JJ on 3. He's just working out what battle tactic to take, so he's looking through some of his own battle tactics. Homegrown battle tactics here. Looks like it's going to be a big one. I'll be interested to see which one he takes. Let's see if we can predict which one he will take. So we've got Gifts of Nurgle. Complete this tactic of 3 more friendly Nurgle units within 3 of the same enemy unit at the end of this turn. Could be doable. We've got Glory to the Grandfather. If more enemy units are killed than friendly units this turn, that's a very good one actually. I think he could do very well with that. He's got the Droning. If there is a different friendly unit with a Rotfly mount in each quarter of the battlefield, not particularly doable. Well, having said that, but no, I don't think he needs to concentrate on killing these zombies. So I think Glory to the Grandfather is a good pick here actually. So I'll check in and see which one Stu has decided to go for. Still unsure. He's just having a wee ponder. He could potentially have some GHB tactics that he could be looking at as well. So he's thinking of going potentially for the droning. It does have to be different friendly unit in each quarter. Doesn't have to be wholly within. So literally just touching in is pretty cool. So he's saying is he could use his general to just touch into his kind of home quarter, shall we say, and then the other 3 quarters just look after themselves. So he's going to go for the droning instead, actually. Yeah, no, I do think that's a good pick. I wasn't aware that it was actually just within, not wholly within, so that's a really good one, actually. That's fine. Very cool. So that should just be an auto. And then he's going to be doing his wheel, his corruption-y thing. So let's see what cycle he's on now. So he's now on number 3 of the wheel, which is the burgeoning. At the start of your hero phase, roll a number of dice equal to the number of the current battle round. For each 4 up, you receive 1 extra CP. So let's see how many extra CP you got. Perfect. So just double checking with Stu there. Sorry, and also just for me as well. Great to know. Thanks very much, DW, for also using CP to mean contagion points. You absolute. Oh my gosh. So yeah, there's additional contagion points. So Stu's on 9 now, which is pretty good. So 9 contagion gives him quite a good amount of of summoning. But we are still on 2 command points. So I've just tried to put on there con P for contagion points. We've got contagion points. So it looks like Stu's just going for a heroic action to get a command point on his general. I wonder if JJ decides to do a wee teleport away. He has actually already done a teleport away. So that Vampire Lord is out of here. And let's just see where he's deciding to set up. It's interesting how he wants to use this. Probably wants to try and get the aura of the extra counts as extra as controlling objectives potentially. But no, he's just hiding them behind by a little rock here. So let's see if I can pick him out. There he is. There's the Vampire Lord. So he's used Legionite teleport. So he's now there. Maybe thought he was a bit too danger close over there next to the Bloodthirst and the Flies. So he's decided to move him kind of into the kind of central part of his castle. So it could well be that he's got the 12-inch aura around those zombies, in both zombie units, possibly. But we shall see. So yeah, we've got Mystic Shield popping off here. Okay. There we go. I couldn't see him because of a wing. So we've got a little Sloppity Bile Piper in there as well. He's just casted Mystic Shield using his Arcane Tome to good use there. So he's actually, see if I can pick him out, he's actually just under that wing right there. So he's popped Mystic Shield onto this unit of Flies here. So we've got +1 save, which is nice. That'll be nice to have. JJ hasn't unbound that. And I think Stu's just trying to get his ducks in a row just now. So he needs to make sure that he has a Rotfly mounted unit in each quarter of the battlefield. So he needs to make sure that he's got... so it looks like he's definitely got the units to do it. And it is just within, not wholly within. So a really nice battle tactic this actually. Especially for this list. So here we go. So we've got some moves. So we've got the three units of Flies going up, and I do wonder when JJ is going to use a redeploy here, or when he's going to redeploy Charge Manfred. So Stu does need to be careful here that he doesn't potentially let a counter charge ruin his plans again. So it looks as if he's basically got his battle tactic already, as long as he doesn't lose. too many flies. Do wonder what he's up to right now. I did think the general was supposed to be taking his home quarter. So I'm a little bit confused here as to why he's moved his general forward. Again, we can't really question or ask why, as that might give the game away. So we'll kind of keep Stum for just now, and we'll see what the script is. Could well be that 3-pack of flies, he might just move them back, but I think he really needs to full send everything, unless of course he's just going for this fly unit in the middle. Technically, you could say that they're in any quarter, so you could just say that they're in this quarter. They're using this quarter here. So yeah, that should be fine. It's quite interesting. It's almost kind of like that. There was an old GHB battle tactic, which was have a unit in every quarter of the battlefield, but you could just do it with one unit, stick it right in the middle, and it would get everything. So it has to be a different friendly unit with rot fly mount in each quarter. So you unfortunately can't just get it with just the one unit. That would be tremendous, but unfortunately, yeah, we're going to have to actually play it properly. I've also just noticed we're not on turn 2 yet. Silly me. So here we go. Turn 2. Okay, so let's see what's going on here. So we've had another move, and I think this is where JJ's spending his redeploy. So looks like he's just rolled a 2 in the redeploy. So he's just clarifying with Stu. Oh no, it looks way more than 2 actually. Oh no, whoa, sorry, he's just pre-measuring. Could have been a 5 actually. So let's just check. Yeah, just clarifying that big old redeploy there, 5-inch redeploy. So Stu needs to do well to try and make these charges in this zombie block here. He also could be outside of shooting range potential. Well, I mean, he will be, because if he was outside 3 and then JJ moves exactly 5 away, that's 8. So yeah, no shooting coming from those 2 fly units. Not that he maybe would want to shoot anyway, because it would make his charge a lot harder. So I did wonder when he was going to spend the redeploy. Looks like he really wants to keep that particular 40 block alive. Stu also does need to be careful. Well, actually, doesn't need to be careful anymore of Manfred, because he's already spent his redeploy. So. And his counter charge ability is instead of a redeploy. So it looks like Sloppy's on the move. Yep, so he's just decided to run himself up there onto that objective. It's just an objective that Stu was already controlling from the last turn. That was the one objective he was able to actually get a hold of. I think he'll definitely should be, well, I'm not saying definitely, he should be able to score his 5 this turn. And I expect quite a lot of dead zombies. I think looks as if, now again up at the top here, it's very dicey in terms of charge rolls, but I think I fully expect these zombies and these zombies down here to eat it. In terms of the redeploy, I think, yeah, that was actually JJ's only block that you could redeploy. As I forgot, I think these flies are actually already tagging the zombies within 3. So I'm not sure, I'll have to double check. But I think that was the case. And it's interesting that JJ, well, if that was the case, JJ didn't pile any of those zombies in and fight. So again, I'll just double check that as well. So yeah, just clarifying there with JJ, those flies are tagging the zombies, but he couldn't pile in because of Sloppity. Just, oh, so cool. I love Sloppity Bilepiper. So he picked that unit, and they made them so they couldn't pile in. So could do nothing to those flies. And I've also just been told by JJ that he's just failed to bring back a unit as well. So he's already lost a summonable unit of dogs, so he's now just failed to bring them back as well. So that's pretty huge. He really needs to obviously make those rolls, not purely from just a controlling the game sort of standpoint for objectives, but also his grand strat depends on him bringing back 3 summonable units. So we need to make sure that we're getting that grand strat. We've just had an update. Thank you to Matt. And it looks as if John Bayliss is continuing on his tear. He has gone 28 to 15 versus David Bishop Miller, who was running Big Wah. So well done to John there. So looks like he had full control of that game. He scored 5 every single turn, and then he also scored his grand strat as well. So huge congratulations to John. Mr. Bayliss, Mr. 300 as he's known, so well done to him. And then, yep, David, commiserations, 15 points there. 3 5-point turns, and then I think tabled probably from turn 3 at the end of turn 3. So yeah, and no grand strat as well. So yeah, well done to John. We'll see how he gets on tomorrow, who he's got to face. But yeah, doing very well as you would expect. So as you can see, I've managed to find a hoodie that was really nice and big and cozy. And I think this is actually, this could be Reese's hoodie. So I'm wearing the previous Broken Realms Champions hoodie. I can smell the success of it. I think that's success. I'm nice and cozy now. I've got my coffee. I'm ready to rock and roll. So let's get back to this game. Oh, sorry, Thomas. I forgot to have a look at your comment. Who are the favourites for the tournament? I'd say, well, John, for a start. John Bayliss, the fact he's 3-0 after day 1, in a really strong place. He's a very good player running a very good army, so I have to always have him in the mix. I think Nathan as well, also have to have Nathan in the mix. And honestly, probably would have also put JJ in the mix for looking to do well. Stu as well. I also would have put Richard in that category as well. It's funny, a lot of the people that we've had on stream is who I would actually, if you were to ask me to pick who I think would do well in the tournament, it would be those players. I don't know how Sinky's getting on. I know he lost his game 2. We'll see how that's going in game 3. It looks like he's got Yoon Hog and his King's Gits, actually, I'm looking at over there. So it could be a rough matchup over there for... Oh, no, sorry, my apologies. That is not Yoon Hog. Yoon Hog is actually, looks like he's playing a Trogoff right now. Fantastic. So it looks like it's Gits v Gits down at Yoon's table. And Sinky, I'll need to have a double check who he's playing against, but it could well be... not quite sure, but I'll double check the draw. But yeah, let's pick back up with this game here. I can see lots of dice being rolled, so I can only imagine that Stu is rolling his Death's Heads, shooting attacks from the flies, and those zombies are just melting over there. So the zombies next to the Bloodthirster is just melting. So, I mean, when those guys finally get into combat, I think it's going to be one wiped zombie unit. Very interested to see if Stu does make... Also very interested to see Stu not move that 3 block of flies down to try and help the other 3 with killing those zombies down the very kind of the bottom centre of that screen. I know he's looking to get his battle tactic, but I feel like he could have been better served just leaving his general up there or putting his general in the middle. Maybe he was scared that Manfred would come in and one-bang him, absolutely. But I don't know, I feel like at this stage I would just be wanting to kill as many zombies as possible. So we'll see how that turns out for him. We've got some more Death's Heads attacks, looks like. That looks like quite a lot of saves here for JJ, so 6s and 6s. And I hope that Stu's also remembering that 6s to hit also proc disease as well. Okay, so that 40 block of zombies is all but nearly gone, basically, over there. Bloodthirster going for some shots now as well. So it looks like these flies won't even make it to combat because these zombies could just die from the shooting attack here. There we go, he's done 5 damage to the zombies, and that's them gone. That is them gone. Okay, so we've got 40 block of zombies gone, 20 block of zombies gone, 10 block of wolves gone, and 4 banshees and 4 bloodborne gone. Okay, so gone not too bad for Stu. JJ still got 240 blocks left. So the corpse cart, he's got Manfred, he's got the Vampire Lord, which we know always has blizzard potential, and he's got the Necromancer. So we'll see how it goes. I think that Necromancer might be staring death down in the face right now. He's got a Bloodthirster right on top of him, and it looks like Stu is rolling some charges. So yep, Bloodthirster goes in. Wondering how well the death's heads on the 3 block of flies that are currently tagging the zombies, how they've been getting on. Looks like maybe there could be less than 40 now. Okay, that's the general into the Necromancer as well, getting him hopefully out of harm's way. Let's see what Stu's up to. So he did an 8-inch charge over here with those flies. See what he gets. Oh, that's big. I think it's a 6 and a 1. He's taking a reroll off this, so he's spending a CP. Saw the 6 and got excited there. Is that enough, Stu? Okay, so it looks as if we're going straight to monstrous action here. Stomp for 2 mortal wounds. Saved 1. Okay, and then Necromancer drops a wound. Okay. Oh, and I've got Uncle Matt giving me another update. Thank you very much. So we have got, just to have a wee check here. Okay, so it looks as if we've got Adam versus Lewis. Doesn't really help that we've got multiple Lewises and multiple Adams, so surnames would be great, but I think this is Lewis Pennington, so let's have a look, see. Yes, so it looks like Lewis Pennington and Adam Fitzpatrick. It looks as if that Lewis has got his first win of the day, so congratulations to the wee man. He has scored 24 points to 8, so it looks like, yeah, pretty good domination there. 3 points turn 1, 3 turn 2, then 5, 5, 5, and Grand Strat, holding his opponent to 8 points total and no Grand Strat there. So major well done to Lewis, and commiserations to Adam. So yeah. Okay, let's get back to this action. So really what we're looking at here is just killing a Necromancer, I think, and then Stu's turn will be over. Apart from piling in those flies to try and whack at these zombies. So let's see it. And it looks as if he's decided to swing with the Bloodthirster first over there. I think he's used Sloppity potentially to stop the piling with the zombies. So let's see what's going on here. So we're just discussing some piling shenanigans. Well, looks like Jay's about to pile in. Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot. Sloppity's already moved a bit further up onto Stu's objective that he's controlling. So it looks like these zombies are just piling closer. So some interesting tactics. What's happening over here? So we're just double checking if the droning guard are, or if the droning battle tactic has been gotten. So it looks as if Stu's just quite happy just to sit with 4. Don't know why he's not... I don't know why he's not piling in. So JJ's just double checking if Manfred's outside 3. Okay. So I don't know if maybe that was just a kind of a resetting of the game state to ensure that that Manfred either was or wasn't within 3. We'll double check. I can see quite a lot of movement and there's quite a lot of discussion happening to do with 3-inch gauges. So 4 points for Stu. Okay, so we're hold 1, hold 2, and we've got battle tactics, so on to 4 points. I'll also double check CP as well. First we have disease rolls to roll, so let's see what we can do. So looks like another 3 zombies gone there. Manfred takes a couple of mortal wounds as well, obviously negating the first one. Armour of Tempelhof, so good. So good. Corpse Cart takes 1. And I think that is us done. Okay. So I'll check in with the lads, I'll check on CP, but I think that's a 4-point turn from Stu. Okay, perfect. Nice little update from the... Okay, so lots to talk about here, folks. We've got the issue of the Nurgle flies that are in the middle of the board right now. They did indeed tag Manfred in Stu's turn 1, which is what he wanted. However, Manfred has now used that within 3 inches to pile in and get onto Stu's objective that he was controlling. So he ends up losing that objective as he only has Sloppity on that objective. Huge play there to deny deny another point. Stu also used 7 contagion points to summon a second Sloppity, so we do have 2 Sloppities in play, which is very useful for stopping pile-ins and things like that. So we've got 2 Sloppities in play, and really JJ is sitting in quite a good position here. He's still got 2 40 blocks of zombies alive. He's going to be rolling, and it's going to be a 3-up to bring back a unit of zombies. I reckon he'll probably bring back 20 zombies from that 40 block that just got killed by the 6-pack of flies, the Bloodthirster. And he is going to be controlling 3 objectives. So if he can get a battle tactic here, he's going to score another 5. And in terms of the difference in points, that's huge. So let's make sure we score up. So I've been reliably told that we've got 2 CP for each player. We have got we've only got 2 contagion points for Stu. Stu only gets 3 points, so after 2 turns, Stu gets 6 points. So if JJ gets another 5 points, it's going to be 10-6 going into battle round 3. Very much an uphill struggle here from Stu then. So yeah, things not looking fantastic. He did get his battle tactic though, so he got the droning, so we'll make sure to mark that up. And then I will make sure to double check and check in with JJ to see what battle tactic he fancies for turn 2. There's quite a few that I think he's got to choose from. But let's see if he's made a decision here. Okay, so it looks like he's still pondering his options. So in terms of Soul Blight, he's got get a summonable unit and have it destroyed. Which you probably wouldn't want to happen. Probably wouldn't want one of these 40 blocks of zombies to get destroyed. So I don't know if that's on the table. He's also got one which is have a unit that's already within 3 and keep it within 3. So that could be an option with those flies. If those flies don't do enough damage to kill those zombies, that 40 block of zombies, then he could get that battle tactic as well. He's not spent his Triumph yet, so let it be known that he still has his Triumph in hand for making something Battle Shock immune as well. He's also got some GHB battle tactics as well that he could potentially do. He could try and go for a cheeky magical domination, because if he could just teleport. If he could teleport that vampire to outside, if he could just teleport to outside of unbind range of any of Stu's heroes, then he could just get that one off pretty reliably here as well. So I can see he's writing some stuff down, so let's just check in with him, see what battle tactic he's gone for. So yep, JJ is going to go for magical dominance. So he's going to be using this to teleport his Vampire Lord out of unbind range of any of the enemy heroes, and then he'll just go for a cast. So if he doesn't roll a miscast, he should just get this battle tactic. So a nice auto battle tactic to take here. Okay, so magical domination here for JJ. Let's see what he's going for. So probably a Mystic Shield. So doubtful that Manfred's going to be casting any spells this turn. Necromancer's dead, so his only spell casting is going to be coming from this little Vampire Lord, and as I said, just needs to make sure it doesn't miscast. He's probably popped Morbeg's Claw, so literally anything but double ones will get him his battle tactic here with the +2 to cast. So let's see it. Looks like it's just straight into combat here for JJ, so no movement. Feels like I think he's failed his Reza model as well, so that's 2 movement phases now that he's failed to bring back a summonable unit. And I think that he's already got his magical dominance. I think we've potentially missed that roll a wee while ago, so I'll double check with him at the end there. I think that he's probably got that. Craig Graham coming in with magical dominance, the most failable free battle tactic of all time. Yes, well, that's your fault for taking a magical dominant army and then just not casting magic at all. That's the big brain, very big brain play. So really all JJ kind of wants to do here is just keep Manfred on that objective. However, those flies will pile in. Looks like it's 5-3 currently holding that objective. I'm just going to check and see if the Nurgle flies, if they've got 5 or more wounds, then Stu could play a blinder here and take this back off of JJ. Leave him with a 4-point turn. So let's check these flies. So we've got plague drones. Memory serves, I think that they're 4 wounds each. So it looks like it could be 5-3 on that objective in JJ's favour. If Stu's able to pile in Don't think he can get all 3 of those flies on to try and take it back off of him. However, he will be piling these flies in this time to try and do as much damage as possible to these zombies, looks like. Okay, again, don't know why he didn't do this last turn. I'll need to have a wee chat with Stu as to why he didn't pile those in and attack with them last turn. They were already there. They tagged the zombies, but they didn't pile in and they didn't swing. So I want to figure out as to why that is. Maybe he was trying to bait out a retreat from JJ. If he retreats the zombies, he can't contest the objective. But I'll have a wee chat here. Okay, so just got some information there from Stu. So he said he was just quite happy to pin the zombies with these flies down here. He didn't really feel like he wanted to go in and do damage there. So yeah, I'm a bit kind of scratching my head there as to why he wouldn't want to try and just chew through them as quickly as possible. He has now gone for the pile and attack now. But I think in his head he was just said, "Well, I've pinned them with the Sloppity, so I'm quite happy with where they are." But I just feel like over 2 turns he could have actually chewed through that block of zombies, and by the end of this turn now that objective could be his. So yeah, don't really know about that strategy. We'll have a wee chat maybe at the end about that. So yes, so and then just checking up the rules as well. Plague drones are in fact 5 wins a pop, so it looks as if it's 5-4 in Manfred's favour on that objective there. If he allows Stu to pile in a single fly, that objective is gone. So really quite interesting in terms of the primary objective control. The Vampire Lord's nowhere to be seen, so he's not given any of these zombie blocks additional contesting on any of these objectives. So very, very interesting. Yeah, don't worry, Craig. I think he got it pretty much instantly. I think most good players just get that battle tactic, mate. Okay, so it looks like we've got some zombies attacking in now to the plague drones. And it feels like there's going to be a whole lot of dice for nothing. Although, actually, the corpse cart's next to it, so we could spike some mortals here. So perhaps Stu was kind of scared of the mortal wound potential of those zombies attacking back into the plague drones if he did pile them in last turn, because they were next to that corpse cart. I will say that I've actually played a little test game with JJ's list this week, and I was extremely underwhelmed by the number of mortal wounds that these zombies do, because you need to get to the wound roll, and unfortunately hitting on 5s just doesn't really cut it right now. And even worse if you're hitting on 6s thanks to -1 to hit. So mortal wounds from zombies doesn't really come from their attacks, it is them exploding. So maybe through a combination of, if he was killing them all, he was just maybe scared of losing this 3-pack of flies. He would rather just kind of keep them there. But I think I would have liked to see him just try and keep chewing through those zombies. So it looks like he has piled in the drones, and he's just touching to within contesting that objective there. So I think he now has taken that back off of Manfred. So he can't, just Stu reminding JJ, he cannot move further away from that fly unit because he is closest to them. So, if I'm not mistaken, I feel like it might be a 4-point turn for JJ here. Holds 2, but not more. Yep, looks like it. Yep, perfect. And he got his battle tactic for magical dominance. And then Stu's going to do his disease as well. Okay, so disease slowly but surely working through these zombies. Corpse Cart's taking another mortal wound as well. Manfred taking another mortal wounds as well. Okay, so lay of the land as it stands right now. If Stu maintains prio, I think this could be a very, very big swing. Stu does win prio, so wow, this is going to be this could be lights out here. I know that JJ got quite lucky with a redeploy over there in terms of, but Stu does have the potential to just put these little nurglings over here. He could advance them, run them and just have them as a kind of an anti-redeploy pinning piece there, so that then these 2/3s of flies just get in and start working on this zombie unit. He could then just zone out this objective. He's already got this one, but again could zone this out as well. And then he could also just get he could get the Bloodthirster, he could get the General, possibly that other pack of flies as well, maybe into this 40 block of zombies, and just lift it. So I don't expect JJ to have much at the end of this turn, actually. So we'll see how it pans out. Need to make sure that Stu doesn't make any more slip-ups and just puts this game away right now. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes here. I'm just going to double check with Stu the point score in the last turn for JJ. I think it was 4. Yep, 4, because he held 1, 2. Yes, so it looks like 9-6. Stu maintains priority, which is really good for Stu. Obviously needs that. Things have just been going kind of Stu's way ever since he won that double into 2. If he maintains prio, this could get pretty ugly. So we'll score this up. So we're going into turn 3 now. We're going to have Soul Blight on 3 command points, and we are going to have Nurgle on 2. JJ did achieve magical domination, so we need to see, or magical dominance. So we need to see what battle tactic Stu is going to try and do this time. I do think that kill more kill more units than he loses, I think, is a good one he could do. Stu hasn't done surround and destroy yet, and he's got quite a lot of assets kind of out and about. So I think that one's definitely on as well. So we could have surround and destroy. Intimidate the invaders is also another one. I know we've got quite a big thing here. So Craig's asking, where's JJ's gravesite? So good question, Craig. We went over at the start of the game, but just to re-clarify, we've got one gravesite, that little white marker right there. We've got another gravesite down here that's currently being covered up by this Bloodthirster. We've got one gravesite, kind of underneath this pack of zombies here. And we have one gravesite just kind of up near this area. I think it's currently been blocked off by these flies up here. So that's the kind of spread we have. So now the wheel moves to no heroic actions, no rally, no inspiring presence. So the fact that JJ's got his triumph in hand is going to be huge for this turn. So I'll just check what battle tactic he's decided on. So Stu's went for Led into the Maelstrom, so this is one where you have to charge a hero, charge a battle line unit, and they have to be in combat at the end of the turn. Now, I have seen this one failed multiple times because people forget to leave things in combat at the end of the turn. So if Stu does really, really well here and wipes a lot of stuff, he needs to make sure that he's leaving stuff within 3 inches. So needs to make sure he's got his head screwed on here and doesn't make any silly mistakes to potentially let JJ back into this game. I think that he could potentially, this turn, he could put this away. So let's have a look. So I'm just going to mark up there for Stu. He's gone for lead into the Maelstrom. Fantastic. No heroic action for JJ, and looks like the heroic action that Stu's gone for is potentially a CP. Don't think he needs the heal. And then we're just counting up some contagion points right now as well. So he's back to 9 again on contagion points. So that's some good potential summoning. Could help to screen off some of these objectives so when JJ brings stuff back. If JJ brings stuff back, he's failed both rolls so far. We're up for another update, so we'll let these boys get to it. Yes, and sorry, I'd just like to mention as well, Stu has done the exact right move there. He's using these Nurglings as an anti redeploy little kind of barrier. So very well done there, Stu. We need to nail this unit of zombies, absolutely wipe it off the face of the earth, so we cannot have them redeploying away 5 again, or 6. Okay, so that looks pretty good. I feel like JJ may just go for a redeploy right away, actually. There's a little bit of space. There's a little bit of space just in... Oops, sorry, wrong bit. There's a little bit of space just in this cranny here that he could move these zombies straight back. And away, still away from the Nurglings, but still getting some inches between him and those flies. But we'll see if he goes for it. It's the only redeploy he's got. So let's see if he goes for the redeploy. He's picking up some... he's helping out Stu, making sure he's outside 3. Yep, he's going for the redeploy. Oh, and he's rolled a big 6. Oh, wow. Okay. So this is, I think, the only thing that could keep JJ in the game right now is this 40 block of zombies up here. And he's just pegging it 6 inches back. Wow. And he can pretty much move. He can pretty much move just 6 inches directly away from these flies. So the Nurglings haven't been used. I maybe would have even liked to see Stu using a CP to auto on those Nurglings to get them into this position here where he, in a better position to block the redeploy. But that was huge. Big old 6 redeploy. Wow. So again, Stu's going to need to roll big for these flies to get in. On the bright side, he'll be getting this objective off of JJ. But JJ then does still have a 40 block of zombies left alive. And the more that he can scupper lead into the Maelstrom, because right now, the only other units capable of charging is that big 6 block of flies, and they're nowhere near a unit. Only move 8. So Stu might fail a battle tactic here, depending. But no, looks like looks like it's still okay. Looks like over here we've still got these flies, these 3 here, and still in a good position, still pretty close to these zombies here. So I don't see him failing this tactic. I think he's still going to be able to get 3 flies in. If he's also clever and just puts all of those plague drone attacks down here into the zombies and not into the corpse cart, he can just leave the corpse cart alive to classify as the within 3. But again, he needs to make sure that something is alive within 3 of one of the charging units, either a hero or the battle line that's going to charge in. Otherwise, it is a failed battle tactic. Oh, this is getting tense. Okay, so we'll mark JJ down as CP. We know that he spent a redeploy. So see how impactful that is. It's down to 2. Okay, very good. So, we're going to cut away from the action for just a couple of seconds because we're going to have another game update. So we have Craig versus Reese. So let's just check which Craig we're talking about, because there could be multiple Craigs. So we've got Reese playing a wee bit slower this weekend. We've not had very many quick results from Reese. So let's just find it. So it was Craig Worsley, and Craig was running, let's just check his list. Craig was running Carriage Overlords, Barrack Thring. That is the Skyport that allows you to take a priest, and that priest can put a mortal wound little prayer onto a unit. So that's can be kind of cute. He's running a Rune Master to do that. He's running an Admiral and a Navigator. He was running 15 Thunderers, 2 Gun Haulers, 5 Hearthguard Berserkers. Love to see it. He's really going for the narrative of Barrack Thring, getting those Fire Slayers units in there. 3 Riggers, a Clad, that was 1970 points and a 1-drop. So looks like Reese has managed to deal with the Skydorfs. He's beaten him 26-20. So well done to Reese there. So looks like Reese is on a 2-1 after day 1, just narrowly missing out in the win game 1. So could still be on for a big old 4-1. And we've got another result just coming in. Thank you to Matt. Looks like we've got Nathan versus Raf. Nathan has won that game 24-14. He has got 5 battle tactics, 24 points, probably narrowly missed, so hasn't got the grand strat. Looks like, yeah, killing every wizard plus Bellicor seems to be a bit tricky maybe, especially when you're playing against Seraphon. So 24 points there, so 4 points off a perfect game. And then Rafis goes 14 points. Looks like he scored well first and second turn, and then from then on was tabled. No more scoring from then on, no more battle tactics. So well done to Nathan, and commiserations to Raf. Nathan goes on to 3-0. So it could be a Nathan and John Bayliss matchup. Those guys love playing each other at tournaments. So yeah, that's the current results as we know it. We'll get some more in when I know more, and we'll get back to the action. Okay, so lay of the land. So we have moved the 6-pack of flies. Here, we've moved them up. They are nowhere near a charge range, so they cannot be one of the led into the Maelstrom battle line units that makes a charge. So it looks as if Stu is resting all of his hopes on one of these 2, 3 fly units making a charge, and they also need to stay within 3 inches at the end of the turn, or these heroes here, they need to be making a charge and they need to be staying alive. They need to be being within 3 inches of a unit as well. So let's see how Stu 4D chesses his way into this one. Okay, so Stu is pondering something. Not quite sure what he's pondering. He was looking intently at his mobular cellular phone. JJ has failed to bring back again. That's the 3rd time on the trot. So JJ is just telling me he thinks he's only brought back 3 units after an entire day of Warhammer. Obviously this game's still not over yet, so he could still bring back a unit, but he's really not been rolling well at all. So that grand strat that a lot of people are thinking is pretty automatic, maybe not so automatic. Again, having to roll those 4-ups in the opponent's movement phase, 3-ups in your movement phase, yeah, seems to not really be paying off for JJ, so that's a bit of a shame, but we'll see. I think his luck might turn. He's still got a good few turns to go, could still bring back those summonable units. Okay, so let's see what's happening here. Looks like we had some shooting from the flies into Manfred. Don't think Stu really wants to shoot any flies into that 40 block of zombies, as he might end up failing his charges. At least Stu knows that he's safe from the heroic action teleport blizzard this turn. And nobody's in threat of just being within 12 of that Vampire Lord this turn, I don't think. So let's see what Stu's up to just now. Looks like the corpse cart took some damage. Looks like he was shooting into the corpse cart. Don't particularly like that. Says he's trying to keep his battle tactic alive here, so he's maybe not wanting to actually kill this unit of zombies down in this section down here. Maybe just wants to make both charges here and then wipe that unit 40 and keep the other unit alive. But obviously it's not kind of up to him. He's going to have to put some attacks when those flies into the zombies. If he charges the Bloodthirster in, that's going to have to put some attacks into, and so is his general if he charges him in as well. He's decided to not shoot with the Bloodthirster because again he wants to try and keep that battle tactic alive. So we will see what happens. Looks like he's made the charge with the Thirster. Thirster goes in. He's going with the Lord of Afflictions now. Looks like he makes it as well. Both competitors doing very well not to kick the camera as well, so they get special treats at the end of this stream. Okay, Lord of Afflictions is in, so he's got a hero, and he's got a battle line charged. He just needs to keep them within 3 inches. They need to be in combat. Potentially really would have liked him to see him being able to come up with a way to wipe those zombies and just have one of those charging heroes within 3 of the corpse carts. So maybe that Lord of Afflictions kind of coming around the back maybe could have made a slightly deeper charge, because with a pile-in, quite easy to tag the corpse cart. He could have then rotated the those flies with the pile-in to get them away from the corpse cart, rotate them along the edge of the zombie unit, so that the corpse cart was closest to Lord of Afflictions. You could then pump the Lord of Afflictions into the zombies and make sure that corpse cart can't pile away from his Lord of Afflictions. Then he just gets it. Doesn't really care about the corpse cart. The corpse cart's going to do like 0 damage in combat to his general. But we'll see what happens here. So it looks as if that's all the charges done. So he's charged 3 flies. 3 flies over here. He's charged the Bloodthirster and the Lord of Afflictions over here. So Lead into the Maelstrom is on. We just need to keep it on. Okay, so what's happening here? Looks like JJ's piling in with the zombies. So I'll be interested to see who swung first. So who went for the first activation? Oh no, sorry, this is JJ removing, possibly. So just debating how many disease points is on that zombie block there. Okay. Looks like we're rolling some wards. Sorry, we're rolling some attacks. So JJ has piled in, and he is attacking here. Okay. So Stu's saying he's all defensing on the flies from the zombie attacks here, so that's him down to 1 CP. Okay. So a lot of attacks coming out of these zombies. 2 attacks apiece. And obviously can fight in 2 ranks. You can have 25 mil bases, so even with a 1 inch reach, you get the 2 ranks. Let's see what this has done to Stu. Don't know if it's done much, really. Stu's coming around to have a wee ponder on where he's looking to pile in. Does need to be very careful here that he keeps this battle tactic alive. He can't do too much, can't kill too much. Unfortunately, he's got some of the some of the best units of the game to kill zombies. He's having a good long think. However, he needs to speed up because we only have half an hour to play here. So this is really, I reckon, we're only probably going to get to the bottom of round 3. We may have to have a chat out thing. But Uncle Matt has come back with another update. So we have Chris and Sam. So let's just check which Chris and which Sam. So we've got Chris. Let's see, Chris and Sam. I can only imagine it. Surely it must be Sam McGrath. It's the only Sam I know. So let's see. Where is Chris and where is Sam? Yes, it was Sam McGrath. Oh, and sorry, this is Archie. So it's Chris Archibald and Sam McGrath. So Chris is running Lumineth. That's the Halo list that we highlighted before in the preview show, the list review show. And Sam was running some. He was running some Coalesce, Kotal's Claw, but Archie has managed to take him out 27 to looks like 13 here. So very well done to Archie, and well done to commiserations to Sam. Okay, so let's get back into the action. Looks like Stu's piled in those 3 flags at the top of the screen, and he is swinging into some zombies. Okay. So here we come the swords, then we'll do the... I think he's doing the swords first, then we'll do the proboscis. Only 2 saves, so 6s and 6s here. So Stu is saying that he's probably ballsed it now, so I'm wondering if he's just done so much damage here that JJ can pull outside of 3 here. Let's wait and see what he pulls. Has to roll wards. And has to do explosions on Stu as well. So let's see just how well he's done. So interesting, looks like JJ's pulling from the back. Oh, so he's only killed, looks like 6 or 7 zombies. Oh my, okay. So that's not ideal, but at least lead in is on. Perfect. Okay, that's not bad. So, not bad for Stu. Obviously, bad in that he's not killed enough zombies, but good in that his battle tactic is still on. So that's okay. And I feel pretty confident that he should be able to rinse this block of zombies that are down here. So I think we should be okay for battle tactic. So let's see. JJ's now running in with the zombies down at the bottom. Is that right? And it looks like he's going with the corpse cart. Actually, nice one to hit. Corpse cart does a thing. Stu now deciding to pick the Bloodthirster. See what he can do. So 5 at round 2, straight through. So it's 5d3 damage. It's like 11 damage. So we've got 11 6-up wards to make here. So yep, I think this zombie pack is gone. So let's see here. I've also just noticed that upload speeds are really bad right now. I'm being throttled at the moment, so hopefully they level out again, because I'm losing quite a few frames. It's very cold. Okay. So, while we're waiting on the inevitable pylons and the slapping of each other, let's go back to welcome screen. So I've got some updates to give you, well, one update actually to give you. It's a game between Adam Ross and Alistair. Really, this is Alistair. Now which Alistair? Because it's not Alistair, which would be the Alistair Maxwell running OBR. So I think it must be the Alistair running KO. Yes, Alistair Robertson. So Alistair Robertson has managed to deal with Adam Rawson and his Legion of Blood, 26-16. So win for the KO. Very well done to Alistair, and commiserations to Adam Rawson. So I'll have to have a wee check in with Alistair, see where he is on his wins today. I know that he was facing Will and Zombies game 2, so I can imagine that could be pretty grim for KO. A lot of bodies to deal with, but I shall have to check in and see where he's at. Coming off a 4-1 at Tempest, which was awesome, so we'll have a look and we'll see where he is. Very well done. Very well done to Alistair. So let's get back into this game on game 1. Table 1. Okay, so we've got... Looks like we've got the flies swinging in now. Slowly but surely getting rid of those zombies. We also need to check here if JJ is wholly within range. Wholly within range with that general to give an inspiring presence. Well, we can't issue inspiring presence actually, so he's going to have to, regardless, he's going to have to spend his triumph, I think, on this 40 block of zombies down in the very bottom centre, unless he wants to save it, unless he thinks it's much more beneficial to have it on this block up here. Not quite sure at this stage. We'll need to see how it goes. He's piling in and attacking with these zombies now. He's not lost a lot up there. I think I only counted 7 zombies getting lost out of 3 flies. That's very disappointing. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously still got disease to go as well, but not ideal. So we'll see how that goes for JJ. So swinging in with some attacks now from these zombies. So let's see it. Okay, so looks like we've got lots of dice being thrown here for the attacks. Sorry guys, I know that there's a huge amount of lag right now. Apologies. The upload speeds have just been absolutely throttled all of a sudden. He's killed, JJ has killed his first model. Congratulations, JJ. Huzzah. Very well done to JJ. He's killed his first model. You love to see it. Okay, so I think what we might do, as we're being throttled here right now, I'm losing lots of frames. I might just take a quick pause from the game and come back, because this is not. Well, welcome back, everyone. Apologies for that. Unfortunately, our internet just died. So thanks, Vodafone. So yeah, just completely lost all internet signal, but we've managed to reconnect. We're back, and hopefully we can catch the tail end of this game just now. And again, it looks like I'm going to have to do quite a lot of editing for today, for the audio issues and for the internet issues. So let's check back in at what's going on with the game. So as you can see, it looks like JJ has finally made a roll to bring back a unit. So he has successfully managed to get a unit of zombies back here. They're kind of hugging next to Manfred, and they're holding this objective now. We've still got the 3 flies down here in combat with the zombies. We've got 3 flies here sitting on this objective. The 40 block of zombies that were here are now gone. And then we've still got the big old 6-pack of flies over here as well. So I don't know where this vampire lord is. He's sneaking about somewhere. That could be him actually, right there, which is pretty cool. So yeah. So it could still all be to play for. I'm going to get a wee quick update from JJ and from Stu just now, just to check in terms of points. We probably lost, I would say, in terms of stream loss. I think we've pretty much missed all of JJ's turn for his turn 3. So we're going to check in and kind of have a wee look, see where the lay of the land is at that. Okay, so good chats there with JJ. So it looks as if the battle tactic he went for was the grasping dead. So that's one where a unit that's within 3 inches has to stay within 3 inches at the end of their turn. So he's managed to keep that zombies with those 3 flies. They've managed to keep them alive. So that's really good from him. He's going to score 4 points this turn. So that's going to take him up to. So let's just double check. We scored 2 5s and then a 4, so he should be on 14 right now. Very good. And then Stu managed to score 5, so it's 14-11 looks like going into battle round 4. So it looks as if Stu has just turned the wheel. It's going on to +1 to charge and no pylons for JJ. So we'll just we'll stick in his battle tactic that he got. So we've got the grasping dead, and we're going to turn 4. So I'll just double check that who has maintained priority. I think it's Stu that's won it. In which case we've got some. So Stu's just checking with JJ there. JJ's got 4 opportunities to bring back 2 more units. He's only brought back one summonable unit, so he's got 4 movement phases to hopefully roll and bring back some units. So Stu's pondering 100, but I think that Stu has got it, and I think he has to take it right now. So for Stu, so it looks like Stu's got 16 contagion points. So summoning is on for Stu. Let's have a look and see what you could actually summon here. As I think you'd maybe quite like to summon just to take bodies, so I'm thinking potentially Plague Bearers, but let's see what you can actually get. So Stu's also going for Surround and Destroy as his battle tactic. He's not picked that one yet, and he's definitely got the assets to do so. So he's got his Nurglings that can take one edge, he's got his Lord of Afflictions or Bloodthirst that can take one edge, and he's also got Flies that can take the other one, Surround and Destroy. Okay, fantastic. I think it's within 3 inches, and yeah, monsters would be 5 towards it as well. So that's good. Yeah, really good question from JJ. So the Stu's grand strat, means that he needs to hold a scenery piece that's wholly within JJ's deployment zone. Now, JJ was just asking, do we control scenery just like we would for objectives, so monsters count as 5 and so on and so forth? So I've told him yes. However, I believe it does stipulate in the GHB that it's 3 inches for control of scenery, not the usual 6 for objectives. So we just need to make sure that that they remember that. But Surround and Destroy is the tactic that he's gone for. So let's go for that. Or he's actually saying he's got the charge 3. He's got the charge 3 units for Nurgle. So let's check some battle tactics. So it's not just charge 3 units. He needs to make sure that those 3 units are also still within 3 inches of the same enemy unit at the end of this turn. So you'd have to wrap something and not kill it. Interesting. He's also got Glory to the Grandfather he's not used yet. So that's if he has to just destroy more units than he loses this turn. Yeah, Stu's saying his thing is going to be pretty difficult. I think he's going to stick with Surround and Destroy, but I'm just double checking. Yes, I think we're going to be going for Surround here. Anyway, I wanted to check what he could get for his summoning points. So let's see what he can get. So, with 16 points, he could get 10 Plague Bearers for 14 Contagion points. I think that could potentially be the bet here. I think he would quite like to have as many models as possible on objectives. So it feels like we're maybe at the stage where we're actually going to be talking this out. So let's just put in the battle tactics. He's gone for Surround and Destroy. Okay, so let's see. I've just seen a handshake happen there. So I need to get a catch up with these lads to see what the heck's just going on. Okay. So it looks as if they're going for a draw over on this table. So they've chatted some things out. And it looks as if they've both agreed that they can do 5 battle tactics, and they've also agreed that they're probably going to get 1 Grand Strat, and whether or not he's rolled out to see if he's denied the other Grand Strat, we're going to see here. But it looks as if we've decided on a draw. So let's have a wee chat, I think, in a wee second. But I think maybe just the time pressures, I think, potentially took this to its conclusion. So I'll let them have a wee chat with the TO, with Matt. We'll pick back up with chat because we do have a couple with yes, we've got Phil. So he's saying Stu's a bit hamstrung by that early droning. Could have done with droning now. Stu had a big chance to do Grandfather. Yep, agreed. I did actually think the Grandfather's Blessing at that time was probably the best option, but again, yep. I think there are multiple. There's probably still a few things. In terms of, so he said, surely even Grandfather now is the call in that mini block of zombies. Yep. I think Grandfather's Blessing could be fine. They just kill that block of zombies. Yep, absolutely fine. He's saying 2 more CP for flies would have been nice. True. He's only 2 away. He only need 2. He only need 18 contagion points to get 3 flies, which would have been sweet. 10 plague bearers. I like though to be able to potentially screen off an objective for some zombies. And then Phil's also asking, are they timed out or something? So I think they are. I think they are basically about to run to time right now. So I think they're just starting to have a chat. So only really 3 full battle rounds played there. So I think what we'll do is we'll potentially go to just a little break, okay? I'll keep the thing going, and then we'll have a wee chat at the end to see kind of what's been going on. So we'll go to a wee break just now, and then we'll have a chat. So I'll see you guys very, very soon. Okay, so welcome back, folks. Thank you very much for being super patient there. So we're just having a kind of a big long chat. I say the 2 players are having a big long chat. So managed to get to battle round 4 within the time. Didn't manage to play out battle round 4, however. So they're basically having a conversation between themselves and also with Matt, the TO, to come to its kind of conclusion of the game. So I think what the players have came to agreement, what they've decided is that the game is going to be a dead draw. So based on battle tactics, grand strats, things like that, we've decided on a dead draw. So looks like it's a draw, and yeah. So that's the game there, folks. Maybe if played a bit quicker, had more time, we could have seen that out to full conclusion. It is quite a time-conscious game, due to the fact that there's so many models, so many zombies, so many attacks from the flies, and so many things to do, really. But yeah, so that's came to conclusion there. So congrats to both players, and I think we're going to cut our losses there, folks, in terms of the internet connection, because it's staying very stable. So I think we're going to finish on a high. We're going to finish on a nice stable internet connection with no drop frames, and me saying thank you very much to everyone who engaged with the streams today. So thank you to everyone in chat, thank you to everyone who was watching, thank you to everyone who private messaged me as well, with heads up on things like audio issues, heads up with things like game rules, and just general just general love all round. So thank you so much to everyone for that. We'll say thank you, we'll say victory to no one, as it was a draw. And I'll just say thank you to all of my patrons. So you know who you are, and I've got your name scrolling on screen just now as well. So yeah, that's us, guys. Day 1 of Broken Realms and Minis for War GT number 4. We will be back again tomorrow for 2 more games. Hopefully we'll get you 2 very interesting games for tomorrow as well. I'm really looking forward to it, guys. So yeah, so thank you again to everyone. Thank you to all the sponsors for the channel. Thank you to all the patrons. Thank you to everyone for who are watching as well. And again, I'll try and iron out any issues via editing, kind of like either editing tomorrow. Hopefully if we can upload to YouTube on time, I can get that edited as soon as possible for people to rewatch that back. So yeah, congratulations to everyone who managed to get some wins today, and commiserations to anyone for their losses as well. But looking forward to a really good game, really good day, for day 2 of Broken Realms tomorrow. So thank you so much, guys, and I'm going to sign off there. So I'll catch you tomorrow, hopefully, and remember to answer the call. Thanks, guys. See you later.